Hey everybody, welcome back. Taking a little break from flying stuff to do another ground-based FPV build. What I got here is a speeder bike from 1997. I actually had this same one. It was one of the first, RC toys that Kenner put out in that Star Wars Power of the Force line. And it's one of those old single-channel RCs. So you have forward, and then you can turn the vehicle to the right in reverse. So it was pretty cool in the day, but I think we can upgrade it a bit. So a couple years ago, Tamiya released these little 1/8 scale bikes called the Dual Rider, and these bikes have a pretty unique tilt-based steering. So I use this chassis as the basis for these builds, taking the shells off of the old Power of the Force bike and adapting it onto these frames. And what this allows for is some pretty cool, leaning steering so that the bikes can lean into the turns. It took a fair bit of sort of carving and modifications to both the speeder bike shell and to the bike frame itself in order to get everything to fit. But I was able to tuck all the electronics up into that back engine pod section. And then on the FPV version, I took the arms off of the Scout Trooper and hooked up a little servo to the control handle so that as I steer the bike, you can see the arms move in the field of view. And here you can see the steering actuation, so it just moves that whole back assembly to tilt the bike, and then the front wheel is castering so that you can carve those turns. Now this makes for a pretty cool first-person video experience. You can lean into the turns, you can see the hands moving. And on flat ground, I've set this thing to run on a 3-cell LiPo, and it goes pretty quick. It goes surprisingly quick for how much extra weight it's got on top of it. And it'll really groove through those turns. You can do these really awesome kind of sweeping curves, and weave back and forth between obstacles. I found that on a little bit of bumpy terrain, so gravel or rough pavement, it actually makes it seem like it's going a little bit faster because you have some of that motion blur. And if you can get up close to some obstacles, so if you can hug the edge of the curb or get up near some tall grass, it really feels like you're riding that speeder bike through the forest of Endor. So folks who've been following the channel for a long time can remember the flying speeder bike build I did a while ago. And compared to those things, these are super easy to drive around. I've been able to pass the goggles and the transmitter around to a bunch of folks and have them swoop the bikes around, chase other bikes. It really is a sort of super approachable driving experience with these things. The one little bit is that they're much more top heavy compared to the stock bike. And so if you go over a particularly large bump, or you get bumped by another one of the bikes, they have a tendency to tip over. But I think that adds to sort of some of the fun of driving them around. So this has been a little bit of a different project, but I've really started to enjoy some of this RC car based first-person video driving. I think that it adds another dimension. You don't have to worry much about weight, so you can add more features. You can add the arm movements, the head movements. I think it makes it for a pretty cool and immersive experience. And you can run them kind of in a lot more places. So I found some little fake redwood trees that I could set up as cones in my driveway. And I can sit in the garage and drive back and forth. So it's been a fun little project. As always, if you've got any questions about the build, or you want to try to make your own, just leave comments down below. I've got a few airplane builds coming up, so hopefully I can get back to a regular build schedule. And thanks for watching, and see you again soon.